Talk a little bit about the conflict resolution. What happens? Obviously we deal as Westerners with conflict as individuals, and how is that done with in the Chinese culture?
Well, there's a demarcation from about 1950 before than 1950 after, and a lot of us stop short of the after. I'll talk to you about what it was before. Today it's a little more like the West, but they don't believe that any conflict can be settled by physical combat. The generals used to teach that the best war to be fought, no one dies. What they do is sit down in a room and they play like a chess game. They make their moves, and he makes his moves, and he makes his moves. They fight the war by proxy on these boards, and the one who wins, he becomes the winner. Now that's the ideal war. I never did hear of one of them, but that's the kind of war Lao Tzu taught.
So they play a risk with each other.
Yeah, and but they avoid physical contact. You never see fisticuffs. Now you see something near that, and it's very exciting to watch. You'll see two men or two women going at it like they're going to kill each other, but they never hit each other. They're just a distance enough apart that they never contact their hands, and they'll go after that way for a long time and then finally give up. Now they're resolving some sort of conflict. If conflict is serious enough, it's usually handled by the clan. If there's a business conflict, then they'll have two of the top clan members sit and decide, does this event disgrace the clan or does it not disgrace? Does it enhance the clan? And then the clan leader will punish or reward the one of the clan that's involved in the dispute.
So it goes through...
disputees don't ever meet together.
It goes through mediation.
It does.
So they don't ever... There's no confrontation. Is that common then to have mediation?
It was years ago. Very, very common. And it still is. And family relations are the important part of their business ethics. Few American businessmen ever learn that. I've talked to a dozen of them, and they never do it. I would always follow this pattern. Japan, Korea, China, Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Malaya, Singapore, they all adhere to what's known as a web society. Now, the home is the center of the web. And there, all imaginable moral restrictions exist. You're bound by every ethical and moral certitude that exists within the clan. As you move from the family out to the clan, and then from there out to the village, and from there out to the district, and then to the province, and then to the state, and then to the country, and then outside the boundaries of the country, you've got away from almost all moral restraints. You've not let any... So this is why a very honorable man in Japan during the Second World War could go into Nanking and pick up babies by the feet and bash their heads against the wall, and yet go back to Japan and be a perfectly honorable Buddhist or Zenist. Zen Buddhism is that. Because they had gone beyond the bounds of their web society. Therefore, they were loosed from all moral restrictions.
No moral restrictions then.
Businessmen had that problem, and I used to tell them, before I would sit down for a final discussion with anyone on a business contract, I would ask if it was possible for him to meet his family. Now, if he didn't have a family living in Hong Kong, and many of them didn't, I'd ask him if he would sit with me and describe his family to me, and tell me how many generations he could recite.